I got frustrated early this morning and last night because the media is getting Menendez wrong. So here's the deal. There is a lot less here than meets the eye. It's true the judge did change the Menendez brothers' sentence from life without the possibility of parole to 50 years to life. And that opens the door for a parole hearing. And that is really significant. That the Menendez brothers can now go before the parole board. Thing is, they're already before the parole board. The governor short-circuited this whole process several months ago by asking the parole board for an evaluation. The parole board is already looking at the two things that matter. One, would the Menendez brothers pose a threat, a danger to society if they're released? Two, are they rehabilitated? That's exactly what would happen as the judge now triggers a parole hearing. It's already happening. It's going to be decided by the parole board. They're going to give a recommendation to Governor Newsom, and Governor Newsom will decide whether to let them out. So that ship has already sailed. The reason this hearing was important is that Mark Garrigus threw a Hail Mary and wanted the judge to change the conviction from murder to manslaughter. Had that happened, they'd be free men today because they've served more than 3 times the maximum for manslaughter. But it didn't happen. Garrigus knew that was the play. It didn't work. Really, this is, we call it a Pyrrhic victory, which means it's a victory, but it really doesn't mean that much because the parole board has already been dealing with this case. That said, it is important, and I'll just give you my opinion on this. Governor Newsom sent this to the parole board for a reason. He wanted to see if the Menendez brothers met the elements for release. If the parole board says they are no longer a danger, and if they say that they're rehabilitated, and that goes to the governor's desk, I think the governor is going to release them. He's going to grant them clemency, because why else would he have started the process if he got back the elements that would make them free men and then rejected it? So I think if the parole board does those two things, the Menendez brothers will be free men, possibly as early as next month. It's interesting as well that this was a second defeat for the new DA, Nathan Hochman, who ran on a tough on crime platform and really went after the former DA, George Gascon, for being soft on crime. And he has lost the ASAP Rocky case and now could not convince the judge in the Menendez case. So it's going to be interesting to see next steps in the LA County DA's office. But the wheels of justice are moving, and my gut tells me, because I've spoken to the Menendez brothers a couple of times, I'll tell you, maybe I'm naive, but I think these are different guys. They have been not only rehabilitated, I mean, they've done things that they didn't have to do, knowing for years they would never get out. That only emerged recently. You know, they've started a hospice program, they've started a suicide prevention program, a green space program, they've worked to rehabilitate inmates, they've gotten college degrees. So I have a feeling this parole board is going to be somewhat sympathetic. And if I had to bet, my bet is the Menendez brothers are going to be free men.